You got to understand that if God is everything, that we are just cells inside of God. So anytime you are talking to somebody else, you're just talking to another cell inside of God. You're talking to yourself. So when I'm speaking to this person, I'm projecting myself into this person. So if I project love, they're going to project love back. If I project hatred or maybe like cunning, they're going to project that too. At least in my reality, because that is what I'm projecting. People see what you are projecting into the world. So if you hang around people who don't love themselves, you're going to end up not loving yourself on accident, because that's just what you're around. That's what you know. But let's flip it and let's say you're around a bunch of winners. You're going to end up winning on accident just because you're around them. It's just bound to happen. It's like if you're around lucky people, you're by default going to become more lucky, because if this person is lucky and you're around them, you're lucky too. You're going to share the same blessings as the people that are around you. But if you're around a bunch of demons, and then you wondering why you're not getting blessed, that's the reason. I'm about to react to this video. My boy Taekwondo.
They leave y'all with a lot of these terms, okay? You know, law of manifestation, law of detachment.
But they don't really tell you
law
what it
of
means.
This, law of that. And you're like, they explain to me like, well, what the fuck? Like, what does it mean? Like, how do I apply it? How do I do it? I'm manifesting. I'm attracting things in life. I'm manifesting. I'm just, so they tell you they're doing these things. You're like, well, what does this make sense to me, right? Let's take it down to its simplest level. If I say I'm manifesting something,
yeah,
and I'm attracting it in my life, but I have to be detached to it. Why is that? Let's start with this. You might hear the non-copyright music in the background too. Focus on this. Why in order for me to manifest something and for me to attract what I want in life, do I have to be detached from it as well? Because when you're attached to something, you bring a lot of heavy emotions, a lot of connections and associations to things you are attached to. This could be people, this could be a goal, this could be anything in life.
Basically, when you add emotions and you add that label, for example, like you say, this girl is my girlfriend, you attach strong emotions to it that can, in a sense, get in the way of the relationship. You know when someone just gets super jealous because maybe you're hanging around with somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you can't hang around your friends or anything like that. Once you start to try to alter their life, instead of accepting the relationship to be divinely perfect, those emotions, it's almost as if it's applying the ego to it. Once you have your ego and your traumas and your insecurities and you attach that to the relationship, it no longer works. Because it's no longer what it needs to be. It's what you want it to be. Let me say that again. So it's no longer what you need it to be. It's what you want it to be. Oh, you want to be a fighter? Okay, well, first the universe has to take you to the gym. You see what I'm saying? First the universe has to get you to train. Then you can step in that ring. You can't just jump straight into shit. No matter how badly you want it. You have to live in this present moment first. And that's what a detachment is. You know you're going to get there. It's the belief. You know you're going to make it to this destination. So now all you have to do is enjoy and work on all the steps to get there.
I'm talking about, it literally could be your dream. You hurt yourself by being attached. Why? What this does is it blinds your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Not your physical vision, which you can see, but your vision. Your ability to envision the plan and see the goal itself. Yeah. Your vision to realistically figure out how you're going to make it happen. You know, it's a saying, it goes, you're too close that you can't see it. Not even realizing that what you're doing is ineffective or that what you're doing is not meant for you because you're so attached to how you're trying to do it. The routine you have, the way you think about it. So if you're so attached to it, it's much harder for you to find a better plan or a better goal or a better whatever, because you can't even let it go. You can't even step back and see the other options that you have. Think of a goal, right? Weight. Let's say you're physically, you want to change your weight. You want to start eating better. Whatever that goal is, right? If you approach it in a way that you're reaching, that you're grabbing, that you're chasing it,
Yeah.
you can only chase something that runs away.
If you just act while knowing the underlying meaning or the underlying purpose behind everything you do, once again, you remain in the present moment and act in the now. You remain in the present moment and you act in the now. Be in the present while still remembering that vision. Still remember where you're going. You have the belief in your head that you are going to this destination. Once the belief is in your head, once your subconscious believes it, all you have to do is just live. The universe is going to build you into the person that you need to be. Once you become the person that you need to be, you will be living that dream.
You can only go for something that you don't have. You talk like that and you think like that because mentally it's separate from you.
Picture your dream in your head right now. Okay, now believe that you are going to get there. Once your subconscious believes that you are going to get there, you will get there. Our subconscious controls, I believe it's like 98% of our reality. So if mentally you're already there, all you have to do is live. And then that dream is going to come in like a premonition, or maybe like a dream that you really had at night that came true. Deja vu.
Pursue, they don't call it the law of chase.
Yeah.
The law of hunt.
Yeah. You're doing it wrong. You're playing the game wrong.
Let's go to Google. Attract definition. To cause something to come to a place or participate in a venture, right?
Yeah.
That first part is the most important part. You cause it to come. Mm-hmm. You evoke it. You evoke. You make it have a specific reaction. If I am attracting that lifestyle, that goal, that thing I want, why would I use the word attract? Because I'm doing something, I'm living in a certain way.
There you go.
Which makes it inevitable.
There you go.
That I get what I'm going for.
There you go.
I'm not a millionaire. Let's say I want to become one, right? It's my goal to become a millionaire. There's a gap. It's a space between us.
Exactly.
Why is this gap here? And what can I do to, instead of a gap, it's this.
It lines up like that only when you become the person or the version of you that would exist in the reality of whatever dream it is that you dreamt of. Law of manifestation is basically you playing a game of trying to get in the right timeline. Once you reach that synchronization, that's when you're there.
When you put your goals on a pedestal, you don't see it as a gap. You're reaching. You don't need to reach for things that you are and that you have. And the idea of reaching something versus attracting something is that it mentally implies that it's inevitable. It will come to you as long as you keep doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Now, mentally, what this does for you is your goals feel more attainable. And I'm going to get even deeper. As your goals feel more attainable, as you see them as normal, as you see it as something to become rather than something to get, it is a powerful thing to feel like you have it in you to do something. And this is why they say quitters never win and winners never quit. Because if someone quits, right, that tells you deep down inside, they didn't believe that they could do it.
Yeah.
So why do winners never quit? Because
they
winners
believe.
Deep down inside know they'll find a way, so they never quit.
Everything is your mentality. Everything is your mentality. Once you believe you can do something, it's going to be a reality. Once it's in your subconscious, and your subconscious, once again, it controls like 98% of our reality. So if my subconscious believes I can do this thing, I'm never going to quit. No matter what, no matter how bad things get. That's basically what people call faith.
Because mentally, winners feel as though they can. They think in ways that empower them to get what they want in life, to go for what they want in life. So you often hear thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, actions lead to results.
Exactly.
If your thoughts and feelings are connected to doubt, fear, quitting, or even just something as simple as you don't even believe you can do it. So if your thought and your feelings that you can't do it, deep down inside of it, on that basic level, if you can't even think you can do it,
exactly,
you will never even try to do it, bro.
You know what's crazy? I don't know, a lot of you don't know about, like, I trade Forex. And I have this belief that I have the most efficient Forex plan in the world. Like, it's the point where, like, if I teach you what all these colors mean and everything like that, you can just look at my charts and you'll understand what's going on. You'll understand what trend we're in. You'll understand where your bias should be. And there are times when I see setups that are just perfect. Like, this is something I would take any day. I even have it marked out right here. I only would have risked whatever. If I put in $100, I only would have risked that $100, and I would have made $500. You wanna know how fast? In an hour and 45 minutes, I would have made $500. Like, I'm that good. But what happens is whenever it gets to the place where I'm like, oh yeah, it's time now, I have these thoughts, like he was saying, of fear and doubt. I'm like, oh, but what if it goes down? What if it doesn't do it? And then maybe I don't put in that $100. Maybe I just put in only 10. Then I only make $50. But if I had just stayed calm and I just remained attached, but at the same time detached to that belief that I have the most efficient trading plan in the world, I would have made almost $600 in less than 2 hours. But at that basic level of those thoughts, when you're in this zone, when it's time, if those thoughts are bad, you're going to attach bad emotions, and then you're going to act on those bad emotions. You lose sight of the vision.
And guess what is a distraction that people commonly use as a positive thing? Motivation. You're looking to feel like doing it.
This girl I used to hang out with a lot. But basically, she just comes to me. She's like, yo, like, I've been going to church. I've been doing everything right. And, like, bad things are still happening to me. She believed her going to church was her doing the work. She believed that after she went to church, after she got motivated, all she had to do was sit down and do nothing, because she got the same dopamine from that motivation that it made her feel like she was actually doing it, but she wasn't doing it. It just felt like she was doing it. And that's why he's saying it's a distraction, because instead of trying to get motivated, you should just do it.
At that point, do you have control, or does how you feel have control?
Your emotions can control you. You're like, you guys should really read this book, Michelle. If you really take the lessons that this book teaches you, it will change your life. The book is called The Power of Now, and it's basically, it teaches a lot of what he's talking about right now, because simply being conscious of, your actions and, self-reflecting and realizing what you may be doing to blocking your blessings, a lot of that can be removed by simply living in the present moment, enjoying the now. Because a lot of you have this idea of this dream that you want in the future, but you live in this idea of the dream of the future. It's like if you're in class and, a kid dozes off, he's no longer in the present moment. He's instead maybe reminiscing about the past, something that happened that's still bothering him, or he's thinking about the future, daydreaming. So, but you have to live in this present moment right now in order for you to actually grow. Because how can you grow if you're not moving?
If you can't even control yourself, how can you control your external circumstances? If your goal is to change your family's life, how you going to change it for them? You can't even change it yourself.
Win through your actions and never through argument. The people who are trying to win through argument tell everybody around them how to live the perfect. But that's trying to win through argument. You're not doing, instead you're telling. If you have all these keys, if you have all the answers, win through your actions and show everyone around you how to do it. Because once they see it, they believe it. And once they believe it, now it is finally achievable.
I said life will test you when you say you want something. But guess what? Life not testing you because life don't think you can have it, or life doesn't think you deserve it.
I think he's about to get into exactly what I'm talking about, like how you have to literally become that person first. So like your challenges and obstacles are going to come up to really test you, to show you and ask. No, it's going to ask you. It's the universe asking you, do you really want this thing that you say you want?
That test is to prepare you to have it. You say you want that body. Do you know how hard it is to control your diet? You know how hard it is to go to the gym every day? So if you can't get past that challenge or that test, how can you expect to get what you want? Manifest. Clear or obvious to the eye or mind.
Anything your subconscious believes will become your reality. Now you got to ask yourself, what does your subconscious believe? Your reality is controlled by what is clear or obvious to your mind, because that's what you're going to project into the world anyway. But that means you can change the thoughts that are going into your mind, which are then going to change the things that you're projecting into the world, which will then manifest an image that is clear and obvious to the eye of anyone that perceives you.
You have to know. If you don't know, how you going to embody it in a visual or physical form? You know how to decrease that gap and make it so close that you're one and the same. So if I say there's me now and there's multimillionaire me, what is so different about me and this multimillionaire version of myself? Let me know.
That's the plan. Once you figure out what that gap is and what you have to do and what are the steps in order for you to get to your destination, once you fulfill all those steps, you then become that person that you need to be in order to be where you want to be. You're literally playing a game of timelines. Literally, that's all you're doing. You're literally jumping to a different dimension where you're this version of yourself and you're doing this. There's literally infinite amount of like timelines, bro. Like it's crazy because spirituality like that is explained in science, but all the rest of the shit is fake. Okay.
You visualize it. What does this multimillionaire version of myself look like? Well, I'll probably dress like this. I have a fresh haircut every 13 days. What kind of qualities or aspects will that version of myself have? Man, it's stress, because it ain't easy being a multimillionaire. You have to be what? You have to be disciplined. So guess what? In this journey of knowing, like I said, you have to know. You figure it out, because people who believe in themselves go for things and try things that a person who does not believe in themselves would have never even thought about.
They wouldn't even have tried. Yeah, they take risks.
If I believe in myself to do something, I'm not even questioning if I can do it. I'm focused on how I'm going to do it. I'm not even worried about the middle and the gray area. I don't care. So the thoughts and feelings that lead to actions and results, as they, when they talk about manifestation, change the thought, change the feeling. So rather than be worried about it, I say the word, instead of using the word worried, I'm using the word focus. You may be submitting to, complying with, or accepting a given way of living.
He's basically saying this. We are all products of society. Even if you don't like what society is and you notice that and you're doing your best to change, you're still a product of it regardless. Like if somebody hates society so much they become a fucking villain like the Joker and just decides to create chaos, he's still a product of society. Even though he is literally the thing destroying society, he is still the product of society, because society is what made him that way. It was the way society treated him that turned him to this path, that made him into this person. So in the end, he's still a product of society. And like, even if you don't know, we're all being programmed somehow, in some shape or form.
But you got so much weight to drop off of you.
Facts.
You got so much luggage you carry. You bringing too much to the table in that new life you trying to achieve. Prince made the point that he had a conversation with a couple other artists, and they was talking about critique and work, right? Critiquing their music, right? For example. And it was like, if I sit there and you critique my music and I follow what you said, but I'm a true artist.
Yeah.
What he said is a true artist, he defined it as someone who is tapped into their specific gift and talent, and you have to find your own gift and talent. You cannot be told.
Basically, he's saying, like, if you're an artist and somebody gives you advice, you can take the constructive criticism and see, like, try to see it from their perspective. But at the end of the day, it is your art piece, and only you know how it should come out. You should not change something just because people were like, yeah, that would be cool. No, that's falling right back into the matrix. You're becoming, once again, a product of society. Don't do that. Link in the description.
They're tapped into their own gift and talent of creation, and doing that unapologetically and authentically. If you're a true artist in that way, your creation and your piece is straight from your creator, straight from the universe, it's straight from God. So when they critique you, they're essentially critiquing God. So what do you trust? You trust your vision, your creation that's been given to you, and only you can see it how you see it? Or do you trust what somebody else said?
Nobody can tell you shit once you see the vision and you believe in the vision. You can do no wrong as long as you are truly doing you. There is only one of you. You are your own unique art piece. We need you to express yourself how you were meant to be expressed. That's the greatest service you can do for the universe. And how you can stick to that is by using this affirmation. All you have to do is say this: I am so happy and grateful now that my life is unfolding divinely perfect.